Welcome back to Andertons TV.
Hello everyone.
I'm with Ben today. Now, can your guitar do that? I suspect
Acoustic
not.
Paradiso, yeah.
Yeah, if you've grown up listening to people like Paul Simon and Eric Clapton play acoustic guitar, name some fabulous acoustic
Doc
guitar
Watson,
players, all those
John
guys.
Renbourn, you know.
And you've dreamed about owning a guitar like them and playing guitar like them, you can just stop watching now. Go and put one of their albums on and practice.
Yeah,
right?
do your scales.
Because that's not what this is. This is a range of guitars from a manufacturer called Lava. They've actually been around for a while now, but they're relatively new to Andertons. And it's really, really pushing the acoustic guitar in a different direction. That
Very
may not be
much.
your cup of tea, but you might be looking at this going, that's awesome. That's exactly what I would inspire me to play more. So it's a range of guitars from pretty affordable, compact body, traditional sort of wooden acoustic guitars. It's got some carbon fiber guitars here, but really what's kind of crazy is it's got a lot of tech built in.
A lot.
That's going to add effects to what you're playing, going to allow you to loop, going to allow you to stream Bluetooth, jam along.
There's lessons, you can collaborate with other people in the Lava community.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff.
All via, which actually we've got a camera over Ben's shoulder to show you this, but all via
Can't
this
beat that.
kind of basically sort of built-in mini iPad thing. You're going to hear a mix of sounds today, and we'll tell you what you're hearing each time. So everything that this crazy looping, effects adding, drum adding thing can do will come straight out the sound hole of the guitar. Crazy, right? I know, but
yeah,
it does. Or via the line out, via the cable. Certainly we've found with the drums, it's kind of easier to hear some of the stuff through the line out than it is.
Yeah, I think there's
acoustically.
there's some stuff that the internal speaker's really suited to. Like there's a lot of kind of education stuff in there, metronomes and scales and all that kind of thing, which you can do internally. But then if you want to go out and gig, it's got all that, and then it also adds access to extra kind of performance settings. So you can add in blend in the microphone and equalization and stuff.
I'm just going to mute down here so that we don't get a nasty noise when we undo the cable. But Ben, if you'd like to put that on its actual charging dock.
Charging dock, yeah.
It couldn't be any more iPhone here if we tried. So yes, what you're seeing right here is the kind of the top of the range carbon fiber one in its charging dock with the pedals. I mean, one pedal to control the effects, one to control the drums, and crazily they kind of just magnetically clip together. If you want to use the two together, you don't have to use them both.
And they're rechargeable, they're just charging up.
Sorry, that's the cables, yeah. The whole range comes with a choice of some come with sort of more affordable bags, some come with nicer bags. Anyway, all of that stuff is on our website. Let's start with the most basic one. So this has no plug-in capability, no effects, no nothing. It's just an acoustic
only
guitar.
kind of purely acoustic guitar in the line.
That, it might surprise you to hear, is only £179. So
really?
with the gig bag. So that's all right. And again, it's a compact size.
Yeah.
So
Kind of travelling guitars.
100%.
That's pretty good, man.
It's quite interesting. That sort of oval-shaped sound hole, I think, is giving the bass end a different vibe of sound. Like I can't describe, but just changing the position and the size of the sound hole is sort of changing the tone of the acoustic in a way that is sort of slightly less familiar.
Yeah,
with me.
and I'm not sure what the kind of bracing pattern is on here. It looks like it's wooden bracing and stuff on here. But
I think it is at this level.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to find out more about this is called a Blue Lava Original.
Yep.
Slightly misleading because it's not blue and other guitars in the range are blue, but that is the series. The Blue Lava Original comes with or without a pickup system, and the starting price is $179 and then a bit more if you want it with the pickup. So that's the only kind of they're the two guitars in the range that have no special effects built into them. They're just straightforward acoustic guitars. Right, let's move on to the next one.
Shall we go on to the one?
Well, we're not going to I'm just sort of going in price order.
Okay.
So imagine the guitar that you've just heard Ben playing, but now with the good stuff in it. This is called the Lava Music Me Play. And again, comes in, it's always a white top, but it's got several different shades of colour on the sides and the neck. All right, so these are $449, and stay tuned because we're not going to demonstrate the functionality of this on every single guitar. We're just going to get to the end one and show you what that can do. But imagine what that can do.
It's the same system
through that.
Yeah.
The next guitar we are going to hear is this. This is the first all carbon fibre guitar that they make, and as Ben, perhaps you saw as Ben picked it up, it's quite a shallow guitar relative to the other ones.
Thin liney.
But it has a much simpler set of effects in it, so it's not going to do all your looping and drums and everything like this, but we will have a listen to this. Talking of carbon fibre, I don't think it's just a gimmick carbon fibre. It's very lightweight, and it's unbelievably resistant to temperature and humidity changes. Probably the ultimate material to make a travel guitar out of.
Yeah, I've played some really, really nice kind of high-end carbon fibre guitars as well. They sound great.
And certainly if you're concerned about where you live, and I don't know, perhaps you have humidity issues where you live, or you live in somewhere where the temperature goes from hot to cold, or you just can't be bothered with the faff of an acoustic guitar that you go, I've got to adjust the truss rod and I've got to worry about this, that and the other. Maybe there's a genuinely, a good reason to look at this. So this is called the Lava Music Me Air. Comes in a couple of different colours by the looks of things that we'll whack on screen now. And Ben, take it away and let's have a little listen.
So I've only had a brief chance to play with this, and I think I've worked out what the controls do. As you can see here, it's got this coloured knob, which when you press it, changes colour. And I think for each different colour, there are different effects. So we'll work our way through. We'll go back to purple, because that was the...
So were the other two knobs just like a volume and tone or something?
Well, I think we'll find out. I think they do different things depending on the effect.
That was like a big ambient reverby kind of effect. If Ben presses the button on there, and you'll see it change colour.
I was going to say, I think this selects the effect, and then these other two knobs change different parameters.
Change the parameters. So there was like quite a nice chorusy kind of...
I think this is delay. And then blue is...
That was that sort of distorted... Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, well, look, so you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
But so you've heard everything at the moment coming out through the pickup, but I think what's always clever about this kind of guitar is the fact that when you're at home and you just want some reverb, okay, so let's just, I just need to unplug this end so it doesn't make a nasty pop. So if we go back to that red sound that you had.
Go to the red one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now what you're hearing is literally what we're hearing in the room. So any effect that's being applied to this is not us adding it through, our editing system. It's literally the sound of the guitar.
So.
So that's that. That is the Lava Me Air. As I mentioned, there's a couple of different colours in there. And again, I don't think that's crazy money. I mean, when you think about what, say, Yamaha are doing with Trans Acoustic, which is a similar kind of idea, I'm sure they're upwards of £800 to £1,000 sort of money. This is $499 with the gig bag. So that's pretty cool. Could we just switch all that off and just remind ourselves again, because I was really surprised at how good that sounded as a straight acoustic guitar. So before we move on, let's just have a little...
So this is everything off on here. remarkably loud for something that's just this thin.
That's not bad at all, is it?
No.
Difficult to know how much of this is aimed at the gigging market versus, I suspect, probably more the play at home.
I would think so, yeah. And I'm not we haven't had time to kind of dive into all the parameters on the effects, but there's quite a lot you can do just with the 3 knobs.
Now this is also rechargeable, right? But not via a cradle. I think this is just a sort of ye old USB-C plug-in. So you'd have to have that on a stand, charge it up. Again, I don't have to hand how many hours of life you get out of this, but
I did actually used to have one of these for a while, and the batteries last for quite a long time.
For ages, because it's not doing a lot, is it, in fairness?
No, not really.
Anyway, that information will be in our spec on our website somewhere. So, final 2 demos now. If you hold up the silver one, Ben.
This is the slightly smaller one, isn't it?
Yeah, the only difference between these last 2 guitars here is the sort of the width of the bout, if you like. So I don't know if we just do a very quick acoustic kind of, does it sound that different? Or is it more about the, you know, if you as a player, if you're tall and you want the bigger one, or you're smaller and you want the smaller one. But let's have a little listen.
These are removable, by the way. We haven't taken them out, these little volume and on-off tags.
Is that what it is?
It just tells you where the volume and controls are.
Okay, so now we'll hear the slightly bigger one. I think these sound pretty impressive.
I don't know if it's the carbon fibre, but they've got kind of quite a thick acoustic sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I find the way we've listed these on our website and on the Lava website terribly confusing. Because there literally are just 2 models of this guitar. The 38-inch wide one and the 36-inch wide one. And then you choose either white or grey. But the way Lava sell them is there's a separate code as to whether you want this bag or whether you want this bag. So the guitar's listed on our website about 8 times just to cover all the different possibilities. But fundamentally, there are only 2 guitars in 2 colours. So let's have a quick listen to that, see if it sounds radically bigger acoustically.
Okie dokie.
More bass, isn't it?
Quite considerably more bass, yeah.
It's almost, if we were talking about, you know, traditional acoustic guitars, we'd be sort of almost going Dreadnought versus Triple O type vibe between the two,
I would
wouldn't
say
we?
So.
But yes, whatever the carbon modern equivalent of that is. Anyway, let's get into the good stuff.
Okay.
So just in case you're wondering at the moment, we're now up to about £1,000 on these guitars. There's not a big price difference to go to the bigger one. It's like an extra 50 quid or something. So they're all roughly in the same ballpark. And all of your accessories are optional extras. So the charging station is optional, the foot switches are optional. The only thing that is not optional, it just comes with it, is your bag. So power her up, Scotty.
Okay.
Do we need more dilithium crystals, or are we ready to go?
Well, in advance of the video, I did have to register with the Lava app.
Yes.
And then I had to register the guitar to the Lava app on my phone, and then I had to update the firmware after it had charged up.
Yay! Well,
which is done.
Welcome to the world of Andertons.
I was going to say, updating firmware on acoustic guitar.
So the guitar itself now is on the Wi-Fi.
The guitar is connected to Wi-Fi. It also has Bluetooth connectivity. This is the bigger one with the 32 gig memory as opposed to the 16.
Right. That's relative to this one, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
So the technology in both of the last 2 we've just done are the same. Yeah. Okay.
And so when you open it up, you've got this home screen. So hopefully you can see that up there. It's got a tuner in there, which is useful. You've got a metronome. We've got our metronome there, and then if you swipe up, you bring into these other menus. So in here we've got effects, we've got a recorder so you can record what you're playing. You've got practice, which has got loads of different kind of practice things, rhythmic, harmonic, scales.
What, just like jam-along stuff, you mean?
Well, jam-along stuff, but also kind of tutorial stuff. So you can practice your arpeggios and your scales and your modes and things. You can learn songs. There's backing tracks to play along with. The leaderboard, that's to do with setting yourself because there's like
It's like a Peloton sort of version of guitar, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, there's like a whole
my
community
God.
element where you can track your progress and collaborate and kind of, pit yourselves against
Wow.
other people to see who's
Guitar
learning.
playing shouldn't be a competition.
It
You
isn't.
should just,
Music's not a competition.
No, just play for fun and, anyway.
Yeah, there's photos. I don't know what the photos are for. Then you've got Create, which is kind of a live looper. There's live drum loops like we heard in the intro with our fantastic Back in Black. Then we go into other things as well. So shall we have a look at the effects, I guess?
I think probably the 2 or 3 most important things in here, I'd like to show the effects.
Yeah.
I'd like to show the looper.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just show the drum thing, which obviously you can only access if you... Well, sorry, you can stop it from there, but you can only control it from your feet, obviously, if you've got the pedal. So let's do the effects first.
So the way the effects work is if you go into the effects menu, in here, I'm just making sure you can see, you've got reverbs, delays, reverse delays, chorus, tremolo, phaser, flanger, octave, stutter, wah, slow gear, pitch shift, blah, blah, blah. It's just loads. And each of these effects categories has got different kind of presets under there. And each of those is generally made up of more than one effect.
Right.
So if we went with something, what's Crazy Panda? Should we see?
So we haven't plugged you back in yet, so we're just still using the mic.
We're still using the microphone. Shall I plug in for this?
Yeah, I think plug in, because it is easier to hear if we plug in.
So I'm plugged back in. So this is the Crazy Panda effect.
So that's pitch shifting and
distortion. If we want to use that, we've got our effects templates. We've got 4 templates, and this is where we were kind of messing around with them before. I'm going to add this to template 1. I can't because I need to select another template. I'm going to add it to template 3 then in that case. That is confirm, and that's done. So then if we pick another effect, what do you fancy? A delay?
I always on like the trans-acoustic thing, I just like the reverbs and delays.
All right, let's go for a
I'm
big...
not a big fan of all the silly effects.
Okay, how about this?
I say silly.
Nebula must be, okay. It's all pitch... Oh, hang on.
What? Have you got them both on? Is
I
that
might
you got Crazy Panda in the Nebula?
Let's see, what's Shadow?
Yeah, see, I don't mind stuff like that.
This is Shadow, yeah.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if we were to unplug the cable, that is what you would hear coming out of the guitar.
So what we can, I quite like that. I'm going to add that to my my template 4 here for some reason. And then what we can do now, if we come out of there, go into our effects, you can switch between effects and template. And then in these different templates, you can see all the effects you've chosen, and you can select one or other of those, either via the touchscreen or via the foot switch.
So this foot switch on the left, which is sold separately and does come apart, the arrows at the top, basically the left and right go through the templates.
Yeah. When you've got your 3 effects blocks loaded into the template, then you can switch between the different effects blocks.
So that's using this pedal, which, by the way, like I say, that you can have them standalone, or it's quite cleverly magnetized to go together. Anyway, so here's number 1, number 2, number 3. It would be nice if there was a visual thing on here, but then I guess you are looking at that.
You have got this, but it does go away again. But.
So yeah, these 2 to go left and right through your templates. These 2 turn on and off whatever you assign there.
And you've got 4 templates in total, so you can have 12 effects. Within each of the effects blocks, there's an edit option where you can go in and affect all sorts of parameters depending on what it is. So,
cool.
Endless hours of fun. And you can use the other foot pedal for the drum loops.
The drums. Well, before we do that though, could I see you just use the loop? You know the thing with the red circle that went around that is
absolutely.
just a loop. So this is it's a bit confusing on the Lava terminology, because they talk about loops, but that's not a looper. So loops would be sort of like pre-recorded drum loops and backing track music loops that you can just jam along to.
Do you want to have a look at the menus?
No, let's just see if you can do the looper.
I will see. So in here you've got loops and improvs, respond improvs, which is another community thing. If we go to loops in here, then you've got the kind of option of all of these songs in different styles that you can go through. But you can just go add and drumless loop, pick a tempo, and start. And then what will happen is you press record, it'll give you a count in. And you can have up to 3 tracks, and you can...
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to show you that now, but funnily enough, some of this functionality is the same as in the Lava Studio amp that Pete and I did. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to use that looper thing, you can elect to do a 1-track loop like Ben just did, a 2-track loop, or a 3-track loop. So anyway, you can see us do that on the Lava Studio thing if you want to. So that's the looper, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Let's go to live drums.
Okay, let me come out of here.
I sort of feel like we're only going to show you these 3 bits of the technology in an effort to keep this video sort of fairly short. If you dive over to the Lava website or just look at some of the influencers that are doing stuff with Lava guitars, they'll go deep diving into more of the functionality of this digital thing.
There's loads of backing tracks and things you can jam along with, and there's all the educational stuff. But, you know, that's learning to play scales and things.
So Ben's live drums, loads and loads of drum loops that you can download. They're all split into their genres as well to make them easy to find.
Should we go for a rock one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, rock 3.
And then effectively you can assign your 3 different drum tracks to the pedal, so A, B, and C, and from the pedal, or as Ben's doing it from the screen, but I guess if you're playing the pedals easier, you can start, stop, do like drum fill-ins, program an ending in, tap tempo in your drum or whatever. Like that. So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm just basically starting it. As you can see, that was completely unrehearsed and probably could have found a better drum pedal and timed my fill-ins better. But yeah, you've got endings and stuff like that. So the foot switches are completely optional extras, but kind of fun to have if you just want to be able to do stuff without stopping the playing. Let's finish this video with just in the same way that we kind of did on this one. So just get like a nice... This is where I think the most fun is. Find a nice patch of effect and just jam along through the microphone so we can kind of give people an idea of how it sounds when you're not plugged in.